Annoying news, upsetting news, I'm gutted. Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Now I'm going to say those famous last words again. This is another video that I wasn't expecting to make and didn't want to have to be making. And now it's a turn for my BMW E36 to sit quietly at the back of the driveway, as she unfortunately failed her MOT about a week ago now. So the MOT, I booked her in for her MOT a few days before the MOT was due to expire. She failed and now the MOT has expired, so here she is sitting here on the back of the driveway. So I booked my MOT early on a Saturday morning for the BMW, bearing in mind both the back doors not open and closed. I didn't when I got the car. Both the wishbones have been replaced, and you're more than welcome to check out the MOT history for yourself on this car. This car is low mileage because it hasn't really done many miles, obviously. In between MOT, sometimes it did like 1,000 miles. And the MOT history for this car anyway is pretty good. So that was a risk I took when I bought this car, knowing that it had a short MOT and I'd have to put it through an MOT in my short ownership of this car already. So I took the car to a local garage to have its test. My parents have started using this garage as well for their many cars. They said the garage was quite nice and friendly, so that's why I chose to take my BMW for its MOT. I kept telling myself that she would fail because if she passed, then obviously it'd be a nice surprise. I sat myself down in the workshop and was watching the MOT go ahead. A couple of the young lads that worked there were complimenting the car, again, which surprises me. People were saying, "God, this is beautiful, God, nice wheels," and I was like, yeah, thanks guys. And then the worry sunk in when the guy went into the pit and was looking underneath the car, and he got out a hammer and was doing a lot of that, and I was wincing. I was like, oh my god, like this is where some surprises could come out. The MOT tester wasn't giving anything away, so I really wasn't sure whether she was going to pass or fail. I was also unsure on emissions because it's an old car with a big engine. Were the emissions going to be okay? The brakes seem okay to me, but were they going to be okay on the brake roller test they do? But when that little hammer came out and started tapping away, yeah, I got a bit nervous, and I should have been as well, because yeah, there was a hole that was found. Happy days. The guy put the car back outside, the MOT test was done. The guy then called me into the office, and I thought, was anyone going to tell me now if it's passed or failed or not? Went into the office, and the guy just said, oh right, and I thought, well, just tell me, is it passed or failed? And then when I looked at the paperwork myself, I saw major defect, and then I saw the big 4-letter word that said fail, and I was like, ah, damn it, like, she wasn't going to surprise me by passing after all. She didn't fail badly though, to be honest. I suppose they have to get the hammer out for these old cars, because being an old car, you would suggest an old car would be rusty. So obviously they have to do the whole rust hammer check, annoyingly, but they have to because it's an old car. They probably wouldn't do it on a new car, but they assume an old car will be rusty, so the hammer comes out. So what did it fail on? This little hole, which is apparently on the driver's side sill. Now when the car was on the ramp getting its wishbones done by my dad, I did see some surface rust, and obviously where the guys tapped it, a hole has been formed, so there's some welding that needs doing. Shock absorber on the left side, so this was the side where the wishbone was particularly bad and had failed, which we replaced that. Since it's been replaced, the car is so much better driving, but it has still felt a bit iffy. Obviously that's due to the shock absorber, which was failed its MOT on. Apparently it's excessively leaking fluid or something like that, so it needs one shock absorber, some welding, and to the, I don't know, central brake pipes are very excessively corroded. Advisories were some rust, which I think actually is on this wheel arch, it's just a bit of surface rust or whatever they've called it, and some more brake pipes that are covered in grease, so they can't be checked properly, but that's been on the MOT advisories for a while. It's failed on shock absorber, rust / welding, and needing new brake pipes basically. So I said to the garage, because it's always interesting, I said to the garage, look, how much will you quote me here and now roughly for you to get this car back on the road? And they said about 600 quid. So then I took the car home. I think I cried, phoned up my mum and dad, but it's not all as bad as it seems. My dad can weld, my dad can do mechanics. I know I can get these parts cheap, because obviously when you get stuff done for a garage, they can supply the parts, but they want to make money on the parts, so they put money on top. Plus you're paying labour rates from a garage, and yeah, all that adds up to around about 600 quid, which was what the garage quoted me. So after I'd finished crying, and I literally was, I then realised it isn't actually that bad, because like I said, my dad can do all this for me. I just needed to track down some parts, and we have 10 days to get this car in for a free retest. because I can't get hold of some of the parts, I don't think that's going to happen, so I'm probably going to have to pay another 40 quid for a new MOT, but whatever, as long as it passes, which obviously it should do next time it goes, then it is what it is. This was the really bad wishbone on the left hand side. This is where the shock absorber has failed, and then I think rust wise the guy said about like suspension area, which I guess, I don't know, I'm thinking it's like maybe this rust patch here, which I've always known about. And then seal wise, let me take you around the other side. I nearly walked into that cobweb, I screamed and I turned away. We'll go around the other side of the car the other way. You can't see this, but there's another cobweb there as well. It's just gross. Okay, I'm not going to go through it. So down there, we're on the driver's side now, there's a bit of rust. And I think under here, apparently he's chalk marked it, but the hole is there somewhere underneath the seal. So I'm just back indoors because the camera battery died outside and I can't be bothered to get a battery and take the camera back outside. Basically the goal is to get the car back for an MOT for under £600, what the garage quoted me. I know that's doable because obviously I'm not paying labour rates, but it's just getting hold of the parts. Brake pipe is easy, it's like 30 quid just for some generic metal pipe which you then had to bend and shape and stuff. So my dad, I believe, has done that before, so it shouldn't be any big deal for him. Welding and fabrication he's amazing at. Remember, if you took it to a garage, what they do when they find a hole in a car, they basically put a plate over the hole, so there's no visible rust there, but underneath the plate that hole's still there. But what my dad will do is a decent job is he'll cut out the actual rust, you know, sand it all back and fit a plate in that hole so there's no rust underneath the plate. But to get it for an MOT, what they usually do is they just plate over the hole, but the rust is still under the hole, so it defeats the object of, you know, do you see what I mean? So yeah, brake pipe's cheap, there's no labour cost really, and the only thing that is causing an issue at the moment is finding a shock absorber. My dad did his best to get two, because why not, but I can't even get hold of one. But we have thought of an idea, and without giving too much away, it seems like we might be stepping up a level on the car, but this is all just to get it for an MOT at the moment. But yeah, we've come up with another idea that's going to have to do. So yeah, it looks like we're going to have to pay another MOT fee, because we're not going to do the 10 days thing. I'm going to hopefully take my car to my dad's house, he'll get it on the ramp, he'll spend a weekend on it, welding it, pipes, sorting out a suspension, these shock absorbers, and yeah, hopefully I should be more confident the car will go through its MOT, those faults have been fixed, passed, and the car's good for 12 months. So after it's sunk in, the car had failed. It hasn't actually failed that bad, like I've said, and I know all the work can be done by my dad and it's not going to cost me £600. So it's bad it's failed, but it's good the work can be done. It's all salvageable, the car. It's not that bad at all, so that's what I need to think. Annoying news, upsetting news, I'm gutted. I really like using the car and I can't, it's sat there because the MOT's expired and it failed its MOT. So do stick around to see how we managed to get the BMW through its MOT. She will pass next time for sure. So thanks for watching this, another update video from myself. I like to keep you guys in the loop. So yeah, let's get this baby through an MOT, I think. See you later.